Alright, I do believe we're all set to go, so I'll give myself the audio check, and then we'll get started this evening. And for some reason my smartphone is confused. It thinks I want to talk to Gemini. Alright, I can hear myself okay. But I need to knock some sense on my smartphone here. Alright, there we go. Yeah, all in good time. And so, it is that time of year once again, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached August, which means that the fireworks are out, and that means that the MOONFIRE FAIRE, the annual summer festival of Final Fantasy XIV, has returned. And knowing that the Rising will be immediately following it, everyone here in Limsa and a whole bunch of other places can look forward to non-stop evening fireworks for the next month. And so, that means that in addition to that, we also get to take a trip to Costa del Sol for more MOONFIRE FAIRE fun. So, what do you say we prepare to head on over and do just that, with Rika joining us in tow for another edition of the MOONFIRE FAIRE. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world. Matthias Griffin back with you for the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail live. So, let's go ahead and prepare for departure this evening. Pictures updated to reflect the new artwork for the MOONFIRE FAIRE, although I do apologize for the what seems like a blank white background in the bottom of the screen, but that's just part of the sand, I guess, or whatever it is that they intended to put in here. But in any event, what do you say that we head on over to the main part of the Aft Castle? Because it's once again time to clear out the Thong of Humanity and speak with Mayaru Moyaru again. Let's go ahead and speak with the little guy to take on the level 30 quest for MOONFIRE FAIRE 2026, entitled Earning Your Water Wings. Come rain or shine, ceaseless, unrelenting shine, Mayaru Moyaru will ensure adventurers are aware of the MOONFIRE FAIRE. And I do appreciate the rhyming. Ahoy, Rika! Wouldn't you rather be frolicking in the ocean waves than sweltering in the sun-baked Nominson streets? Luckily, the MOONFIRE FAIRE is upon us once again. As well as providing respite from the heat, the fair has become an opportunity for the Adventurers Guild to demonstrate the skill and capabilities of its members, including your fine self to the people of Eorzea, whether potential petitioner or prospective recruits. Our star attraction is the Queen Lamin, a ship fully remodeled into the ultimate seaside resort, and something that we actually got to experience last year. Relaxation, refreshments, and giant cannons, it truly has everything! Suffice it to say, I certainly wouldn't be standing around in this heat if it were not for my duties. Get yourself down to Costa del Sol and speak with Grand Chaperone Hermaga to join the summer fun! Indeed we will. So, yeah, we'll also start seeing a lot more colorful weapons appearing as people who have gone through the grind because they really have nothing better to do get themselves to the point where they have the best weapons that Dawntrail has to offer. But I can see this is actually a person who's not quite has one of those weapons. So, yeah, it threw me off there for a moment. So, let's head on over to Costa del Sol. So as dawn arrives here in Costa del Sol, we see once again the Queen Lamin in all of its beautiful glory as the fireworks come to a close for this particular time. And I will say this, I don't know if this is something that has always been there, or maybe I've just never noticed it, or maybe it's a new addition, but they've added a new tier to this place here above where in this area where we get to meet with Master Gigaruju, and we've met him a number of times. But yeah, I think that this is a new expansion of his cabana. because I really don't think this has been here before. I've never recalled this being here prior. So I was quite surprised to see this when I was making my initial tours for preparing for this evening. But yeah, if this is something that they've added, like, this is a really nice little vantage point that they've added, especially to get one of the Queen Lamin itself. So what do you say we go on board? And because they don't allow mounts on board, we have to drive on up. Like this gentleman in the fancy chocobo carriage that led us and any other adventurer in this game into any of the hub cities of Eorzea. So yeah, welcome back to the Queen Lamin. Got all the fun activities and stuff that you would normally expect on this place. And I say normally, but of course, this place is only in its second year of existence, and I will point this out though. This is something that replaced the thing that had the most ironic name possible, and that was over here. The Isle of Endless Summer, which launched when Stormblood launched in 2017. It was designed to help people with getting used to doing swimming, because swimming had been added into the game. So, yeah, they called it the Isle of Endless Summer, but unfortunately it seems like its lifespan has come officially to an end now that the Queen Lamin is a staple. So, yeah, RIP Isle of Endless Summer 2017 to 2025. But in any event, let's go ahead and get back on deck and speak with Hermaga, now that the sun's out. Hey there, big guy, it's been a while. Oh, Rika, Mayari up to you in again this year, dearie. Always glad to have you on board. The MOONFIRE FAIRE is a roaring success. Just take a look around. Talk of the Queen Lamin's splendor has spread far and wide, and folk have journeyed from across the realm to see it. Of all things we shall, still, expecting those who've never so much as smelled a sea breeze to plunge headfirst into the spray. Well, it don't always go to plan. We can't have anything impacting the guild's reputation, be it injuries, drownings, or boredom. So we thought of a way to ease our less confident guests into the season a little more gentle-like, and we could use the help of adventurers such as yourself to convince them that the terrors of the deep won't be terrorizing these shores anytime soon. So yeah, our sunshine savior, I guess, has retired from his duties. You remember Popiano? She's down on the songs below, and I'm sure she'll be more than happy to give you the details. And so we'll get to her in a moment, but first, this also is a new addition to the Queen Lamin. It's not part of the Queen Lamin proper, but you might remember last year we had these cannons that just launched you into the sea. Well, now these human cannonballs launch you over there. We'll get there sooner or later. But for now, we're going to focus on the main quest here at MOONFIRE FAIRE. And of course, we can't use our mounts until we jump off. Yeah, we do set foot on the Isle of Endless Summer, but we will not be here long. This year, it's merely a way to get from point A to point B. So we'll go ahead and wait for her to arrive. So as we chill out in the sun. Hey there, Pobiano, good to see you again. Oh, Virtus and Rika, how lovely to see you. We meet again. So, here's what's going down. Hermaga sent you along, did he? Perfect timing. Many of our fairgoers aren't terribly confident around water, you see. Swimming classes are already on offer, but even getting into the ocean is a step too far for particularly nervous guests. First things first, we need to show them that they can enjoy being beside the seaside. Allow me to introduce... Drumroll, please. This thing. Yeah, our inflatable Morgraft, proud vessel of the Watery Wings Pleasure Cruise. Yeah, you heard that right. Look at the shock on my face. Adorable and practical, if I say so myself.
spacious enough for guests of any size to lounge comfortably above the water, listening to the lapping of the waves with the sun on their face. Who could fail to fall in love with the ocean? Though being dragged out to sea wouldn't be terribly relaxing either. We've employed magics to set the raft on a predetermined course around the shallows, one we've ensured was free of ferocious wavekin.
And I probably want to get this for the thumbnail, if for no other reason, because this is a really cute shot. I really like this, and I really hope that we can make good use of it, because this is a really awesome picture right here. Just having the mog raft and our two little kittens just chilling out over here.
Still, the creatures of the sea are nothing if not unpredictable. For additional security and peace of mind, I'd like a member of the Adventurers Guild to act as an escort. Which brings me to my request. How would you like to be our resident tour guide turned bodyguard?
Yeah, I think I can help you out with that.
Wonderful. I can rest easy knowing our cruise is in good hands. Our first guests are already waiting on the opposite shore. Just let the chaperone know I sent you, and we can get the Watery Wings pleasure cruise underway. I'll wait for your arrival at the end of the route. I'm keen to hear how our guests enjoy the maiden voyage.
Thanks so much there, Pobiano. Alright. Oh, and now there's a... Is that an imp? Chocobo barding? Yeah, they really are breaking all the various stuff of the various monsters of Final Fantasy, aren't they? You'll see more what I mean when we come over later on. So, yeah, here are our 3 mog rafts all set up against the shore, and we're all ready to go amongst this throng of humanity. So yeah, over here is the chaperone. Want to be the adventurer escorting our guests. Me and all these other people. Thank you for agreeing to help. The 2 young ladies here have come all the way from Gridania to attend the fair. However, as soon as our Mikote gets spotted the ocean, she became quite agitated. I can't see her boarding the raft in this state. Oh, a hometown sister, and she's scared of the water. Ah. Perhaps it will set her mind at ease to know that such a stalwart adventurer is to accompany her. Would you be kind enough to speak with her? I believe I can. So, yeah, in this throng of humanity, we have our sister Keeper of the Moon, Lomu Juk, who's getting bombed by pretty much everyone, but she's not alone. I can find her out here. Wearing the flowers is her companion Evan, who has also come from Gridania. So it's the 2 of them who will be joining us on this maiden expedition of this particular ride. So, yeah, now they're all together amongst the throng of humanity. Let's speak with Miss Lowe.
I can't do it! Just look out how deep it is! I'll sink like a stone, and I'm sure I heard someone talking about dangerous wavekin. No, I can't! Come now, Lo. It'll be alright. We won't stray far from the shore, remember? And look, here's our adventurer escort. I do apologize. She was so looking forward to this. But the sight of the ocean seems to have awoken some kind of instinctual fear. I just don't know how to reassure her.
Which then begs the question, if she was so afraid of the water, how did she get here? Because I highly doubt that you would have taken a chocobo route from Gridania to get to Ul'dah, to get to Vesper Bay, which is where the ferry to get to Lanosea is, to arrive in Limsa, and then get taken here over to Costa del Sol. You 2 had to have used an airship to get here. Because, yeah, I just ran off a whole bunch of logistical details, like, how could they have possibly have gotten here, with the only feasible way being an airship? So, I'll protect you no matter what. I can fell anything in this ocean with a single strike, or if anything happens, I'll be here to fix you up, alright? Yeah, last statement, totally reassuring, but yeah. You got a sister at your side right here.
You will? You do look like you'd take a shark bite to the face without flinching.
Yeah. Who would want to take a shark bite to my pretty face with Rika?
Alright, I'll trust Rika and ride the Moogle.
And look how happy Evan is. I'm heartened to hear her fears have been assuaged. Once your own preparations are complete, please give Miss Evan the word. The wall graphs are ready and waiting. Well then, Evan, shall we?
They say these follow a predetermined course, so I don't suppose it'll matter if a novice like me takes the lead. Rika, I trust you have our backs.
Absolutely.
Promise to stay behind me, okay? You have to promise.
Absolutely. So, float away on the Watery Wings pleasure cruise? Yes, we will. All aboard, ladies. And myself, too. So, yeah, this is how it goes.
The nice adventure's right here. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Look at the scenery. Doesn't the beauty calm your nerves low?
Yeah, you can even paint around and have a look at everything as you're going along.
Buildings atop the ocean. How did they stop the post from rotting, I wonder?
Well, you could probably say the same thing about the Conine canopy.
The breeze must feel so nice up there. How different everything is to Redania. Evan, a crab! I've never seen one like that in the Twellswood rivers.
Yeah, you can even paint around to see how the characters are doing.
Where? Oh, I missed it. I'll have to keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, this is a nice perspective.
Beds on the beach? Now that sounds more my speed.
Yeah, the camera will automatically pan over there no matter what.
I could doze right off to the sound of the waves.
As we go around the big cabanas that they have stationed here.
Swimming classes? Oh, I would love to learn how to swim, as long as we don't go too deep. Let's do it. Now that we've overcome this, we can do anything to get the low.
Yeah, there's Raful and Ramaya. They're back too.
Are we supposed to be heading away for that master ship? That's the Queen's something or other. Oh, Evan, it's amazing. I'm so glad we came.
Absolutely. So now that we made it to the base of the ship.
Welcome, welcome. How did you enjoy your first ocean voyage?
So yeah, they obviously had to come by airship.
It was wonderful. The feel of the raft swaying with the leaping waves was exhilarating, and the Queen Lemon is so imposing up close it took my breath away. I saw the most unusual creatures, and everyone looks to be having fun playing in the sea.
Yeah, quite a turnaround from where she was not a long moment ago.
Honestly, you'd never know she'd been up about to run for the hills before you turned up. Thank you for giving her the courage to enjoy herself like this.
Glad I could help out. Yeah, apparently Pobiano's wearing All Saints Wake bomb earrings or whatever. Or no, I'm not thinking. I thought for a moment I thought those were pumpkin earrings, but no, they'd have to be bomb earrings because it's MOONFIRE FAIRE.
Well, I'm tempted to go for another ride. Following the same route again might get a little stale. Plus, it would be fun to have something else to do during the cruise. What do you think, Lo? Why, we can do anything you like, Evan. I'm perfectly at home on the high seas now, but maybe nothing too adventurous. That's an interesting suggestion. If the Watery Wings pleasure cruise offered up different activities, it might keep guests coming back to ride again and again.
And so we come to me.
Did the ride over here give you any inspiration, Rika?
Yeah, there are 4 different things that you can talk about, and some more making sense, some more sensible, and others just outrageous, like a perilous course lined with bombs. Yeah, but yeah, we need something more reasonable, like how about giving a guide to the local area?
That sounds lovely. I did wonder about the architecture and fashion of Costa del Sol on the way here. Everything is so unlike Gridania. I'd love to learn more about the ocean flora and fauna too. Yes, a leisurely chat might make the experience even more relaxing, and it seems likely to appeal to visitors unfamiliar with Costa del Sol.
I'm having a hard time getting the words out tonight.
Any other ideas?
Yeah, once you've selected one choice, you then get to say it couldn't possibly be more fun. The only other one that I really want to show off is cold treats to snack on, because I just think that makes more sense.
These sweets are made of ice? That sounds perfect in this heat. but I wouldn't want to drop them overboard with how the raft sways. Indeed, foodstuffs may not be a good fit for the Water Rings pleasure cruise, though a refreshing juice might be just the thing to stay cool and hydrated, so long as it were not prone to spilling. Any other ideas?
Honestly, it couldn't possibly be more fun.
Well, that's given me plenty to think about. Thanks to you three, I'm confident we'll make an even more pleasant pleasure cruise.
And look how happy they are.
Come on, Evan. Let's go and look around the Queen Lamin. Have you seen that giant water slide? Don't you want to get something to eat first? I don't know what they're serving here, but it smells amazing.
Yeah, Pobiana with a little chuckle.
That sounds like my cue to show our guests around the Queen. Would you mind letting Hamaga know how things went?
Certainly.
Thank you, and I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the fair.
Yeah. Take care, you three, and have fun. Also, I realized... Oh. Hold on. Completely forgot to update the screen because we had the... of course, the Adventures of Elliot just ended last night. Or 2 nights ago, rather. Alright, back on board. Yeah, I'll have to add that out in post. Alright, let's get back on board. Yeah, everyone taking advantage of the climbing course, once again. It has well and truly become a staple of the Moonfire Fair now. Right here, Maga. So here's how it went down. Sounds like those Gridonian losses had a grand old time. As did you by the wistful look on your face. No need to ask, friend. Here, I've secured an inflatable Mograph for your thanks. The magical limit has been removed, so you can take a piece of Costa del Sol summer with you wherever you go. Well, thank you very much. If I know adventurers, which I do, then you're not thinking of all of the unlikely and wildly inappropriate places you can ride this beauty. I won't ask, just remember, safety first, you hear? Oh, but before you go floating away to the ends of the universe, it seems like word spreads fast. Fairgoers are clamoring to ride the Watery Rings pleasure cruise. If you've the time and inclination to escort some more guests, the help will be more than welcome. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the fair. Perhaps I'll even take the old Mograph for a spin myself and admire the Queen from a more intimate angle. I would certainly recommend it. So, with that, we complete the 2026 edition of the Moonfire Fair's main quest. It will take 3,120 experience points, 790 gil, plus our very own inflatable Mograph. Once filled with air, this festive flotation device will be ready to bear you forth in comfort, be it on the water or in the sky. Yeah, we don't get the cool cutaway as we end the event, as we also earn the achievement Summertime Drifter. So, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and prepare to summon this thing. We'll put it on my hotbar. Oh, and that's officially Rika's 100th mount. That's awesome. Where's my number 100? So hard to keep a track of everything. Yeah, you're also trying to look for things that look remotely like what you're trying to use. so weird. Alright, here we are. Inflatable Mawgraft. Created from the Moonfire Fair, the inflatable Mawgraft was originally a simple device for lounging on the water. When incidents occurred which saw riders swept out to sea, however, it was decided that the units would be fitted with wind crystals. That festival goers might fly to safety in the event of an emergency. Emergency indeed. Alright, so now we've got it set to our hotbar, so what do you say we now start doing the loops here? Let's speak with our Maga again to take on our next quest for the 2026 Moonfire Fair, entitled Whoever Floats Your Rafts. Hermaga is trying to catch your eye. How are you enjoying the fair, Rika? Fancy another jaunt on the Watery Rings pleasure cruise? Of course you do. A man on the coast sent word that some folks turned up looking to ride the Mawgrafts, and when they heard that they'd be joined by an adventurer, they requested you by name. You know the place, just along the shore from Costa del Sol. Head on down there when you're ready, and make sure your friends enjoy the ride. Alright, let's go. Also means jumping off the Queen Lamin, but that also means we get our Mawgraft out. Yeah, so enjoy it. We could just chilling out doing her thing on this inflatable Mawgraft, relaxing like this. And when we move forward, she's all focused and determined. So let's head on back on over. We'll go ahead and speak with the chaperone again. Oh, Rika, thank you for agreeing to escort our next guests. They were quite insistent that you be the one to join them. Is that so? Yeah, who told me about you? Or who told you about me? Their identity? Yes, they were quite distinctive. Yeah, I would describe them as one of the following. A piratical pair, 3 esteemed figures in the Adventurers Guild, a fine Alizan couple, a duo of guardian defectors, or 2 imposing aura. Now I will say, honestly, I was actually expecting like 6 or 7 groups of people, especially if you're at the current point of the main story in Dawntrail like I am, where you're already in the epilogue. I was expecting some people to come from Tyrol or even Alexandria. You know, I would not have been surprised if the Dawn servants themselves decided to come for diplomatic purposes to take a ride on this pleasure cruise, but nope. Their duties keep them right where they are. So, let's go ahead and start meeting our groups, beginning with the piratical pair. So who are these pirates anyway? If you wait but a moment, I'll inform them that the escort has arrived. So, sometime later, yeah, from Limsa themselves, Admiral Roswin of the Sanguine Sirens and Captain Carvelan, who escorted us to Kugane during Stormblood.
Listen here, Carvelan. Your spineless cold. This is a challenge. But test your courage if you have any under that puffed up shirt. Don't think you're getting any funny ideas here, eh?
I dare say the entire beach heard you, though I remain skeptical that a seasoned pirate should find anything in these shadows to test their metal, unless some kind of ambush lies in wait. So that's how it's gonna go. Alright, chaperone, if you'd be so kind. I'm ready to depart. We are. Yeah, someone definitely is showing off this evening with their attire.
Want to see what he made of your lily-livered folk? Keep your eyes on me.
Indeed, I must observe her keenly. I cannot discern her true motive. Yeah, let's pan around to see what they're doing. Thus compelled to look upon her fine visage, 'tis a rather endurance.
What's with that look? I'll cut your eyes out your gulping face.
Yeah, always so angry, but never understanding why.
Pay more attention to your surrounds. Your surrounds! Unless you want me to haul your ass out of the brine.
I would rather a watery grave than accept the hand of a siren, and I would rather suspect I could simply stroll back to shore. Still, the fair is remarkably peaceful this year. 'Tis well given the Krakens have provided our financial backing.
I can just imagine my girls and the little ones splashing about. Not a bad life.
Yeah, who thought we'd be chilling out like this with a pair of the pirates? Yeah, there's Bodafwen and Hildalana. They're back too. This place concerned for you'll find I'm quite adept in the Ishgardian style. Your former Alvin no doubt resembles the half submerged Spriggan, as he says. We seem to be nearing the end of the course, and I cannot say there's been much need for courage thus far.
Speak for yourself. We are racing up here.
So when we touch down, well, I failed to see our pleasant ride around the coast as a test of anything more than my patience. Perhaps inspecting the outfitting of the Queen Lamin will be a more valuable use of my time, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, what about you?
Did you hear that? Pleasant, he says. I'll best take me next challenge. The card's got the stones to face me.
Roswen, you've always been a confusing one. And so when you're done, you're automatically escorted back up to meet with Hermaga again, which is nice. Thanks for helping out again. I'm sure an old adventurer of your caliber would be in high demand. Wouldn't surprise me if others come asking for you. Feel free to stop by again if you have the time. So every time you do these quests, you get 10 pinwheel fireworks. And so now we'll go through the loop again. So yeah, we'll get those same texts as we did before, and we'll head off to meet our next group. Alright, back to shore we go, over on the mainland, or what you could call a mainland. Yeah, this is Lanos after all, it doesn't count as a mainland. Alright, let's see where the chaperone is. And so, now we'll meet 3 esteemed figures in the Adventurers Guild. I think this trio will speak for themselves. In fact, you should probably be very familiar with them. Momodi, Mother Miyun, and Betaron.
Rika, how lovely to see you. Betaron invited Momodi and I to experience the Lanosean summer. As you can see, we're quite enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, where'd you get that Hawaiian shirt there, Momodi?
Ulta and Gradani are a good ways from the sea, so a trip to the coast makes for a nice change of pace. I feel like a young girl again.
A lull away by the sea is nothing new for old Betaron. So I'll be sitting on the Queen's deck with a flag and a veil for company, while you ladies enjoy the cruise. Yeah, it's not gonna be all of us, we're just taking the girls. Alright, Betaron, you go have fun. Yeah, he was strictly here for a cameo. Alright. Let's begin. Enroth.
It was sweet of you to suggest I take the front, but I hope I'm not blocking the view.
Yeah, let's have a look.
I can't think of none better suited to lead. Besides, I'm happier keeping an eye on things back here.
Yeah, so you see how these girls sit.
You and dear, you might need to tuck through here.
Yeah, going through the boards.
Was an adventurer without a little danger.
Indeed, and you know that all too well, don't you?
How beautiful. If only I could take this view back to the common canopy. Shall we commission a painter? I can think of the perfect spot on the Quicksands walls.
Well, I do know a guy who does painting in Ishgard. He might be able to hook you up.
How novel. Perhaps I should consider setting up something similar for canopy patrons to soak up the air. They really do seem to love the sun around here.
Indeed they do.
You might not expect of a desert girl, but I'm a strong swimmer. Nothing clears the head like a few laps of the goblet pool. In that case, how about a little race? I've swum the rivers of the 12-year-old's wood since I was a girl, so I can hold my own. Look, the Queen Lamin! I hope Baderon isn't too bored sitting out there all by his lonesome. I think he would rather enjoy the cruise. We must insist he join us next time.
Yeah, it's not easy when the text is flying by and you only have a few seconds to read it. Ah, here he comes.
I've always pictured the sea as raging and tempestuous. What a delight to find that it has a gentle side too. A refreshing change of scenery to be sure.
Yeah, and not too soon because it looks like the fog's rolling in.
Wasn't it just lovely? And now I'm dying to sample the line of saying drinks. Gotta keep an eye on the competition.
No, that I can help you with. And my first flag will all find out for the view. It was a pleasure to see friends enjoying festivities, and all the more so when it's out in your own backyard. Thanks for showing on the ropes, Rika. You're quite welcome there, Baderon. Alright, have fun, you three. Alright, back on the deck, yeah. The fog's rolling in as the sun's going down. Alright, let's continue on. Oh, now here's an imposing dragoon brother. Yeah, sir, might I suggest you come here wearing something more casual? Like, I'm honored to have you here, but you need to find something that's more befitting this season. Don't want you to scare off any of the fairgoers. Oh, for a moment I thought the wings were turning into like jets or something. And so now we will meet a refined Alizen couple. So you're probably wondering who they could be. Because my initial thought was going to be a Manlan and Onawa over from Heavensward. But instead, who thought it would have actually been possible to get Fortuno to leave old Charlian for the first time since 2021 when he chewed out his children? And he brought his wife Emiliance as well. Sans the beautiful and elegant robin's egg blue choir robe, but still radiant in blue, nonetheless.
Ah, 'tis lovely to see you, Rika. Fortuno and I have full memories of a trip to Lanosea many years past, just the two of us. We're both in agreement that we were long overdue for another visit.
My apologies if we have called you away from any matters of importance. Emiliance was most keen to see you once we heard that you were in attendance. We can be on our way at once if you should be so kind as to join us. Of course. Alright, let's be on our way. Yeah, Emiliance takes the lead.
Are these mock drafts the most darling things? If only Alphanode and Alice were here.
I'm counting on your discretion, Rika. Under no circumstances are my children to hear this.
Would it be wonderful to live out our twilight years somewhere like this?
The idea is not without merit.
These pillars are quite close.
Take care not to lean overly far, Emiliance.
I'm a grown woman, Fortuno. You needn't fuss so. Doesn't that take you back? Remember that night we lay together on the grassy slopes of tranquility and watched the ocean? How young we were!
Emiliance, remember present company. Oh, come on. Yeah, come on. I'd love to hear about your precursor to having twins. I mean, who wouldn't?
Might Alphanode prove his swimming with similar training?
Maybe. I harbor my doubts. The boy just isn't very buoyant. And there's Alpha and Omega. They're here too.
I can almost feel my cares being washed away by the natural beauty. We must not leave it so long until the next vision, for you know.
I would accompany you wherever you wish, always. Indeed. Yeah, wasn't expecting an Alpha and Omega cameo, were you?
The vibrant sea of Costa del Sol seems a world apart from the ocean around Charlian, and yet both leave one feeling quite exhilarated.
Admittedly, I find my spirits rather uplifted. I was a much younger man when I last felt this unencumbered. Thank you, Rika. You're quite welcome. And so, on board they go. Alright, Amaga. Let's move on to round 4. As dusk now descends. Yeah, it even did a little Kupo as we activated it. That's cute. Yeah, spraying up the water as we touch shore. And so, Rika, thank you for agreeing to escort our guests. Yeah. So, who are we meeting next, you're probably wondering. So now we move on to a duo of Guardian defectors. And I think you probably are having your mind right away, you're probably thinking Biggs and Wedge, right? Because honestly, that's what I was thinking too. But instead, it's a couple of old men. Yeah. An engineer and a former legatus, or a tribunus, he's a tribunus, he's not a legatus. Yeah, that's what Gaius was. But yeah, hi Sid, hi Nero. Aren't you two dressed more for the occasion? Ah, there she is. Afraid we're here on business today. The Ironworks is helping the Queen Lamin keep her shine, which is to say, Jesse sent us along to maintain the lights. And I thought him only that I inspect the quality of these vessels as consultant to the Ironworks. Let us see if the accomplished hero makes an equally accomplished guide, shall we? Sure. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I guess now that it's sunset, this is the perfect time for you to be able to check out the condition of the lighting around here. And so away we go. Mogra, full steam ahead! Yeah, Nero just sitting nonchalantly. Can't you get up a little more speed up, Garland? Why is that? This is supposed to be relaxing. You must be quite confident in the magical pathfinding to lead the course into the buildings like this. Indeed. Is this automatically compensating for the movement of the waves? Child's play. Nero, you haven't capsized back there, have you? Honestly, I don't think it's possible to do that on this thing. Why is the vessel proving too much for you? Say the word and I'll take your place, Chief. Just imagine if we had a couple of those on the deck of the Enterprise. Oh yeah, the deck chairs. But you wouldn't be half bad. I rather enjoy looking down on the world. Of course you do. But that begs the question, why haven't you done your thing that I've been expecting for so long where you try and take over Garlemald? Oh wait, you can't. It's no longer what it was. This heat, the idea of a dip was quite inviting. Far cry from the academy ice plunge, though herding new students in freezing waters did instill a certain camaraderie. We're approaching the Queen Lamin. Time to get to work, Nero. I can scarcely conceal my delight. And so, I feel quite invigorated. Our maintenance work will fly by after that. I'll give you a shout if we stop by again, Rika. Very interesting indeed for such a rudimentary contraption. Granted, my expertise lies not in magic, but the control systems seem more than adequate. Should I return to investigate further, I expect you to make your stuff available. Okay, sure. Yeah, I guess I can do that. And now that it is evening, the music has changed accordingly. Alright, it's time for our final departure. Yeah, I appreciate the clever actions there. Alright. And so, back again. For the last time. And so now, let's meet our two imposing aura. So yeah, because it's imposing, it's not going to be Yugiri and Sirena. And you're probably thinking Magna and Sadu, right? Well, if that was the case, you're half right. Magna is here, but not Sadu. Do not look so surprised. What stage more fitting for the union of the most radiant son of Azim and his Nama than a land taking the sun for its very name? Come, I grant you to lead to render your service. Prepare us our vessels. And this is his second-in-command, Batu. These small scouting crafts shall allow Brother Magni to survey the surrounds from atop the ocean, that he might find his Nama. Do not mistake his summons for a petition of aid, Khan. Yeah, well, she's here on behalf of Corinne, so your presence is merely a matter of convenience. Sure. Alright. Yeah, let's see how these Aura get on. Hopefully their tails and horns don't puncture these things. Yeah, that's why I'm not taking Shinji. Onwards, Batu, in search of my Nama! Have you ever seen a more gallant figure than our most radiant brother, Kon? Yes, I have. They built their boats on stilts in supplication to the sun. Similar purpose yet inferior in execution to the awe-inspiring heights of the Dawn Throne. Yeah, that place is quite impressive for us, the structure. What light! Could be my Nama's smile shining softly on the waves? Nay, it is only the reflection of the sun, or perhaps the moon. The ocean is vast, Brother Magni, and our search is young. Surely my Nama will not expose their tender sleeping form to one and all. Yeah, spotting the beaches, or the deck chairs. How shameless! Yeah, maybe. I guess it depends on who you ask. This ocean knows no shadow. To bathe in its waters is not an entirely unappealing proposition. Indeed, how I should like to visit with my... Why, look there, brother! Yeah, well, I wonder where he's alluding to. It would appear our time draws to a close, yet I do not forsake the search for my ethereal moon shimmering like the light upon the waves. And you shall not walk that path alone, Brother Magni! Yeah, Batu is nothing if not loyal. Also, I never really noticed Magni's profile, how his hair is slicked back the way it is with the golden highlights coming out of it until I started doing this particular event. So, yeah, I guess we never really noticed because we're so used to watching him from the front. My Nama must be modest indeed to conceal herself so from my radiance. Very well, if she means to test my sincerity, let me show myself to be true. My journey shall continue as surely as the sun does rise. The land is indeed blessed by the sun. Its rays reach even the ocean floor as though the water were not but glass, just as our most radiant brother's light shall surely shine upon his Nama. And if you're lucky, you might find her among the many people chilling out on the Queen Lamin. Hi, Armaga. Thanks, Alpenotken. I should have known an adventure of your caliber would be in high demand. Wouldn't surprise me if others come ask for you. Feel free to stop again if you have the time. Certainly. So, let's go ahead and take our last set of 10. So, there we go. That is the Moonfire Fair for 2026, as far as questing is concerned. Of course, there's Moonfire Fair trinkets to get our hands on, most notably fireworks, but also this year, we have some new additions. We have some lawn rafts that can be used as housing on your at your FC house or your private house or whatever. And so we already have one of each of these at the FC house over in Shiro. And then we also have some new posters to add to the collection, and that of course is an addition to the traditional collection of fireworks. But I did mention that there are other things going on around here. Now let me see if I am lucky enough to find what I need to find. Including some of my old friends. Yeah, these two, they've moved on to create their own FC, but it's great to see them again. Let me see what else I can find out here. Yeah, it turns out we are getting, if you reach Dawntrail, yeah, we are getting people coming in from Tyrol. So we are actually getting Mamulja, we're getting the Moblins, so yeah, we are not alone here as far as Dawntrail is concerned. And then Filament is here. Yeah, not really sure what she's up to these days now that the signs are basically gone. I will say though, they have added fancy trees now. Yeah, I guess we've got summer-like Christmas trees now here in Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah, that's quite hilarious. Let's see what else I can find. Ah yes, here's the Aleapo family. Yeah, I get the one in front! What else can we find around here? Oh, we can find some guys holding flowers, probably about to propose to someone. I doubt it's you, though. Oh, it's not a flower, it's a coconut. It just happens to have a flower, collection of flowers in it. What else can we find? Yeah, we got some people chilling out on the deck chairs. Yeah, here is where Evan and Lomujuk eventually ended up, alongside Pobiano. Yeah, we hear people crashing and burning. And these two are just chilling out even though there's no more sun to take in the rays, for now. And that's like, got a bunch of people dancing and cheering for something. Yeah, who else can we find around here? 'Cause I know that there are more people to find. I don't know if there are any on the climbing course. Maybe we'll get lucky and find someone. Yeah, everyone's a little scared right now. Of course, there's the jumping course where everyone's trying their luck and more often than not gonna make it. Yeah, let's see if we can hit one of these things. Right into the Mog-up zone. Actually, that was a Namazu. Somehow I confused the Namazu for a Moogle. Alright, let's go across. Time to use the human cannonball. Except I'm gonna fall short? Okay. I was not expecting that. Because yeah, I was able to launch successfully the first time. I did not know these things had a random amount of gunpowder in them. Get me over to the other side, please. Thank you. There we go. Much better. Hey there, Bubba. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, we even got people making drinks. Even NPCs are doing it alongside people who actually play the game. Oh. Yeah. So, Rowena, you finally let Geralt take a break from crafting weapons. Although, this is going to be very brief because I need him right back in the Phantom Village again. But yeah, we would have thought we would see him here, but I guess this is a brief respite from paying off his perpetual debt. Yeah, got a whole bunch of deck chairs over here with a whole bunch of food to enjoy. Yeah, including the bomb raft that we will be showing off in a moment back at the house. And yeah, look, we also found... Yeah, I didn't think we would find our old friend Matsia, the fisherman from Endwalker, who saved the little baby's life by running for his life. But yeah, he's found his way here from Razet Han, and he's doing what he does best, fishing. It's his calling, and he's doing it very well. But hey, Matsia, good to see you again. See if we can find anyone on board in this area. In fact, we have. Yeah, Godbert and Julian are here. Yeah, wouldn't have expected to see them either, huh? Yeah, I would think that's, well, I guess we can't ask if Hildebrand made it, because, of course, we know what happened to him. Yeah, you'll be left, the two of you will be left wondering where your son went next. Yeah, I guess there's no fear in them sitting right next to the edge over the sea. Yeah, it's really cool to have this extra addition to the Out of Endless Summer very much taking its place. So, we got the Queen Lamin, we got this new secondary venue for us to relax and enjoy on. But let me show you what the new rafts look like at the house. It's raining. Of course it will be raining. But yeah, here's what they look like when they're at the house. We've got our Mog Raft, we've got our Bomb Raft, I've got our Chocobo facing backwards, but that's because we wanted to give people, as you can see its head, we want to give people a unobstructed view of not just the fireworks, but also whenever we have bands performing here, bard bands, they have a place to perform. And if you've ever been here before, the fireworks are always the perfect touch to a concert taking place here when Moonfire Fair and the Rising are going on. Well, it looks like we're getting perfect timing because we're going to put the umbrella away, it looks like. But I guess the clouds are going to be sticking around for a while longer, sadly. Oh, no, it's not raining in the house, Bubba. Yeah, there we go. We've got our 3 special treasures from this year's Moonfire Fair, and now we can just relax and enjoy everything that it has to offer. And who knows, we might be lucky and see some wonderful people chilling out on these during the course of the rest of the summer. Alright, I'm gonna go. I need to. My throat's getting a little scratched up, so I'm gonna get a drink and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. So now that we've shown off MOONFIRE FAIRE, we're gonna go ahead and say farewell to Rika. And we're gonna switch over to Mathia. As you can see, he's already decked out in last year's lifeguard attire. Yeah, whenever the special events come around, I always like to dress all of my characters up in the outfits that are suitable for the season. Alright, so we are in the midst of the final push here in Dawntrail for getting Mathia's ultimate weapon. He currently has the penultimate tier, his 790. So this is all well and good, but it can't get up to 795. To do that though, we have to do a lot. And by a lot, I do mean a lot. Because for this last challenge, as we do see the fireworks are shooting off here in Mist, here in Nimsalminsa, in order to get the final round of the weapon, you need to use everything on this knowledge crystal. You have to complete all of the following tasks. You have to go to every Dawntrail area, complete 5 fates in each of them, and kill a specific type of enemy. You don't have to kill multiples, you just have to kill one of each of the enemies that are listed. And like I said, you have to do this for all 6 territories within Dawntrail. So, still need to go over here to get these fates completed. Got those completed, so we got 2 of the areas completed, but then you have to do every main story dungeon and every side dungeon within Dawntrail as well. You have to complete every trial on normal, you have to do all 3 of the Alliance raids, and you have to do the entire Arcadian. So this forces you to basically redo every single thing that you did to get to this point. So, suffice it to say, it will take you a long time, but since this started a week ago, people have been really dedicated, have already gotten everything that there is to obtain to get the maxed out weapon. Now, of course, me being a casual, I do not consider myself to be in that situation, but we will keep pushing forward. I'm gonna see how much I can get done here this evening for you guys. So, I still have to complete 5 fates in Shaolani and Heritage Found, so let's make our way over there right now. And as you can see, my base HP is now nearly at 207,000. Which is mind-blowing when you think about it, and tanks can now easily reach over 300,000. So let's start checking the lands for fates, because these things are going to come and go quickly if we're not paying attention. By not having jobs. That's what I'm assuming. Alright, let's go. Oh, it's a fellow brother! It's a brother Dragoon we're teaming up with. Alright, let's go. Yeah, how very fortunate. Apparently I don't want to fight the enemy that's right in front of my face. Here. And to the other side. This will likely be the last one we have to put up with. And it is. Alright, so now we'll warp over to Mwetsawan, because that's the closest spot for that. Yeah, they're either people who don't have a job or they're like content creators who are actually successful, unlike myself. You know, where they have so much support and make so much money from their streaming on YouTube and Twitch that they don't need a job. They can just play this all day. Way. Yeah, look out. Oh, more people coming in. They see where the action is and they're gonna follow it. And now we gotta wait for the next round. Now it becomes a waiting game. As we watch, of course, that the dome that consumed heritage found. Back to Husatawi. The next fate is spawned. It looks like this might be a fetch quest. Go where your brother goes. That's just me and these guys killing everything. Where do you think you're going? I did not say you could leave. Did I say you could leave? Because I don't remember saying you could leave. So let's say, why are we getting random AoE drops? That's why. Let's go. Chase the pterodactyls wherever they may fly. Sorry, Kimberly, nothing personal. Are they still gonna come? I was about to say, no, of course not. Doesn't make any sense. Back to Mwetsawan. The next found fate is south of here. Fate is now active. I'm getting stuck on fences. Yeah, watch all the bad guys go boom. Rush out of the water, but no sooner they get up on shore than they're going into the ground. And back over. Alright, one more. Gotta wait for one to pop up though. As let's say, as the last one has been spotted. Oh, yeah, he's got the, yeah, there's the next fate. Yeah, but yeah, this guy's got the newest mounts available in game, but it's only for people who subscribe to people who play Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch. Yeah, sadly, my audience is not big enough anymore to warrant me doing that. So yeah, I would not be able to get a one of those unicorns for myself, sadly. We'll just leave nothing to chance and just go for it. Doesn't seem like the other Rogadin is here, or the other Dragoon is here. I guess he's probably already got his 5 fates. Okay, there we go. Careful. They're starting to get mad now that we've taken out so many of their brethren. And somehow I went from looking you in the face to shooting to the right 90 degrees. The targeting in this game is still terrible. We're almost to the end of doing our thing here in Shaolani. I think that's it? Nope, one more. Right, there we go. Now to Heritage Found. What was to say that? Yeah, you have to subscribe to people who are playing Final Fantasy XIV on Twitch in order to be able to get that unicorn. See the town on the horizon, but we're gonna have to get in the face of this thing. Slowly but surely take this thing down. Look out. 53,000 points on a critical right there. That's pretty good. It's the back. $59,000 on a crit hit there. Squaring off with you. And then guaranteed critical, 66k. Oh, well, Penastron did 78. And the Star Cross did 131. And that was without it being on a critical hit. Damage is just coming out of me right now. So you're down. That's our first one here in this area. Which one's closest to completion? Okay, that has... Okay, so that only activates when we go there, so we'll go this way first. So our target's decided. Let's go get him. Come on over, guys. He was about to come into the line of fire, but he got in a little too late. Yeah, honestly, that was my first instance of me seeing anyone who's in possession of the rainbow unicorn. Yep. Come on over. Oh, perfect timing. Fire. Go. Alright, that's that. My chocobo is still gonna chase after it, though. Yeah, my old chocobo has a tendency to do that. Okay, that just spawned, but that one was first, so we'll hit that up. Yeah, this one's more likely to disappear faster, so we gotta go get this one. And another one spawned. Well, let's focus on the one that's in front of us first and hope it doesn't go away yet. Right. So this fate is one of the rare ones where it's actually 2 rounds. So after we beat this one, there'll be another one that immediately follows it. Not something you see often in Final Fantasy XIV, but it does happen. Particularly noticeable instance of that in Heavensward over in where Tailfeather is. Yeah, the Forelands, the Divine Forelands. Well, I will say this much. I was recently following the exploits of a popular NFL YouTuber who was doing a cross-country NFL tour across America for charity. It was something that he did 3 years ago, and he decided this year to do it again. And as it turns out, one of the people who is donating donated over $200,000 to his donation drive. And yeah, I did not say that wrong. I did say $200,000 by one person. And You have to have a lot of money lying around to be willingly donating $200,000 to an online charity drive. Well, it's bad timing for this to happen. Yeah, I can't afford to be sneezing while I'm trying to concentrate on killing the bad guys. Get him. Thanks. Yeah, these things are all over the place. We gotta take them all down. Alright, here's someone coming my way. Bad time for me to start getting sneezes. I gotta kind of concentrate on this stuff. Yeah, I think this may be one of the rare instances all summer where my allergies are actually kicking in. Because yeah, all summer I've been avoiding them. Yeah, I have to keep turning the microphone on and off while I'm sneezing here. Yeah, I think I may be forced to stop the stream early if this is going to keep happening. Let's get our last fate-oriented challenge done. Keep it going, everyone. Trying to keep it together. Definitely needs to take some allergy medication when I finish this. Hopefully I still have some. Go. All right. So there we go. 3 lights are shining. So now I gotta go and start doing all the prolonged stuff now. All the grinding for the dungeons, for the roulettes, all the trials and the alliance raids, and all the entire Arcadian. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, let's start doing some random dungeons now. Let's do a level cap one, see what we get out of that. Yeah, as it stands right now, I don't think I've cleared any of these aside from Alexandria itself. Hopefully we'll get something different. And if not, we'll just play it out and then we'll call it a night. Hey Antonius, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, since we're taking care of the field operations, as it were, let's head on back to Costa del Sol. Because everything else has to be done by using the duty finder. Yeah, hey there, Antonius. Had a chance to go and travel on the MOONFIRE Fair yet? Yeah, we'll get back for now into our lifeguard gear. See if we recognize anyone else that we have missed. Also, thank you, my Chocobo, for your help. Yeah, here's someone who's dressed for the occasion, serving the coconut water. I feel like I should recognize these two. Yeah, these two look so familiar. Yeah, I really feel like I should recognize who these two are. I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I was like, who else is around? Yeah, I don't recognize you. Yeah, you're probably just some random casual person who arrived on the scene. And this little Lalafell's like, what am I supposed to do with this big coconut? Yeah, let's see if there was anyone that I missed. Well, I won't know who you are with the sunglasses on. Yeah, really it is the ultimate chillaxing domain. Are they now? Maybe we'll see other people closer to shore. Yeah, look at us go. We got swimming over here. Oh, for a moment I thought that was Fortuno, but no, that's not him. Yeah, we did see people wandering around on the shore that we did recognize. But are they still there, though? Well, Alpha and Omega are. Yeah, they recognize me and they're like, hi everyone! Yeah, so close I could almost give you a kiss on the little beak of yours. Yeah, that's hilarious. I really like this shot. Yeah, it's been so long. How have you been? Yeah, I wonder what the first person perspective was like. Ah, we can't find out because I'm too close. Not that it matters, the queue activated. I'll be right back. We drew Tender Valley. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Oh wow, we shot right over the big guy. Alright, let's start dealing with stuff. See the random cacti falling to the ground. Off we go. Pass through, make it somehow unscathed. Get right in there and deal with the big guy. It's the ground forever. I do a spin of my own while he does his. Alright, launch. That big guy's down. Taking care of those guys, let the tumbleweed roll through, and we'll go off to mini boss number 1. And rough. Do everything you got, guys. I wouldn't stay in there if I were you. Those needles have a tendency to be rather deadly. Don't run away from us. And now the puzzle that I still don't get, even all this time later. I've never really understood how to dodge those things when they blow up. Need to get on this side. You are dead. You're alive? Okay, I guess they must have nerfed this guy so that that move is not a one-hit kill, because it used to be a one-hit kill. So yeah, they must have nerfed that attack. Down the water slide. time to deal with the snakes. Alright, away we go. Pour it on. Get all the group attacks out there. Down another slide. And now it's time for the wolves. Let's see what you got, everyone. Launch everything you've got. Now we go to mini boss number 2. And time for the crazy bomb and his strange patterns. Avoid getting blown up. And then just shoot your shot in there. I dodged that somehow. Now he starts rampaging. Is that right? It was, but I had one foot in the danger zone, so it counted. And now it's on its rampage. We gotta figure out the patterns. Awkward. Awkward. I don't know how I escaped that. We got it. Alright, into the big temple. Stay on it, guys. Next to the sky. That'll eliminate everybody. And now we can get back. We gotta wipe out real quickly. Moving on. Next. Time to go into this labyrinth. Also dodging disasters. gotta go back over here again. I'm not really getting good draws as far as finding other places to stay, and I gotta be content staying in one spot apparently. Alright, final boss. Back to the greatest serpent of Tural we go. Take this creep down. And up go the Mega Man spikes. Where they're going. We should spawn right here. Go. Gonna do your twisties. So yeah, we know they like to go around in a circle in part 2. Yeah, just waiting now for the worst part of this. The labyrinth puzzle. That's to be completed with a certain amount of time you're instant dead. Ah, fuck. Over here. Oh, you're still going. Oh no. Yeah, I think they got lost in this game up. What are they doing? Big slime comes out. So we're just gonna park it right in the middle. I mean, I guess we could do it this way. But we're good. There we go, that victory is ours. And we check off another required thing for us to do in order to get completion for the ultimate weapon that I need. Yeah, I'm back, you two. Yeah, it's like I never left. Yeah, if you ask me, I think this is actually the perfect place for us to call the stream here because I've got Alpha and Omega with me. I think this is the right spot, even though we got the Queen Lamin in the background, and even though we got Costa del Sol over here, I've got the 2 best companions to call the night with. So I think we are in the right place for bringing this MOONFIRE FAIRE special to a close this evening. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it, because I know that for me, this was certainly quite a thing to be able to do tonight for you. So show off all the various people that we could be introduced to for this particular special, and seeing some people we would not have expected in a recurring quest. Some of them were expected, like the Adventurers Guild proprietors were something we should have expected, but I never would have expected Magnite to come here with someone other than Sadu. That he would come with one of his own tribe was surprising. It was also surprising to see Sid and Nero, because I already thought it was going to be Biggs and Wedge on that side. And I was really thinking we were going to see a Madeline and Onawa rather than Fortuno and Emilions. But in any event, we can put the MOONFIRE the Moonfire Fair 2026 to a close, as I got Alpha just give me that big-eyed stare of his. So yeah, once the sun goes down, I'll be able to go back out on the water and have more fun with everything and everyone involved. So I hope that you guys all enjoyed it. And so this was just the beginning this evening, because on Friday I will be joining you guys back over in Genshin Impact, because the last part of the game has been revealed. Snezhnaya is now available to go to, which means the last series of main story quests for Genshin Impact is about to take place. It's already available now, but I'm leaving it until Friday to take you guys there with me, and we're gonna see what Snezhnaya has in store for us. So, with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching the continuation of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail live. So, thanks everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.